Namaste. Hope you're all sleeping well these days, huh? But if you're sleeping a little too much, Mike Flanagan's adaptation of Stephen King's sequel to the most reflective horror of its times, The Shining, is here to take your sleep away. Actually not, because this is not the kind of horror you're gonna get terribly terrified of or gonna shriek your lungs out at. This is the kind of horror that's gonna leave you to ponder over the deep, penetrating nature of psychological horror. Remember the 80s super thrilling psychological horror The Shining, and the little kid cycling around the corridors with shining psychic abilities, connecting telepathically with the hotel's cook, and his father Jack, played by the great Jack Nicholson, losing his sanity due to the influence of supernatural forces in the hotel, almost killing little Dan and his mother. 40 years later, Dr. Sleep is the story of Dan getting caught in the inevitable cycle of facing the demons of his harrowing past yet again. And this time, his telepathic partner is Abra Stone. Let me tell you what makes this horror flick very different from the regular horror. This one has mind games instead of body scares, offers and proposals and articulate conversations with a ghost, and intelligent traps instead of irrationally running around out of fear. Very quickly, 5 points why you should watch this one. Number 1. The result. Evolution of the little Dan to the adult Danny Doc, and his anguish because of his past dealings. His refuge into alcoholism to avert from his dark traumatic past and escape into healing himself. But first, he'd have to enter the abyss of unforeseen darkness again. Number 2. The thrill is back. Dan walking back into the grimness of God-forsaken hotel overlook in the frosty mountains and waking up the supernatural. 3. Acting. Rebecca Fergusan as Rose the Hat is brilliant as leader of the True North, a cult that feeds on people with psychic powers. Ewan McGregor as Danny Torrance is perfect in his predicament. Curran as the little Abra Stone with the shining powers is audacious in her combat. Number 4. The plot. Mike Flanagan's adaptation of the original narrative is quite intriguing. The chills, blood gushing from corridors, scenes of ghosts inhaling fear, pain and anguish from bodies feeding on them. The purgatory sets the tone of what will unfold as deep character study of a tormented Dan, lovingly called Doc by the patients he caters to. The story moves slowly, evolving and transpiring from escapism to gallantry. And you have a lot of throwbacks to the original The Shining. And number 5, if you're a fan of The Shining just like I am, you're gonna understand and like the sequel as well. And the best dialogue in Dr. Sleep is when Dan meets the ghost of his dad in the hotel again, and he offers him a drink, something that he's quit with utmost will and determination. And Dan says, "Man takes a drink, then drink takes a drink, and then drink takes the man." How beautifully orated and so true too. So do watch Dr. Sleep and come back with your valuable comments. Tell me, how did you like it? Thank you.